Hi everyone, my name's Dividor, and today I'm going to tell you all about Great Runes and Rune Arcs in Elden Ring. When you kill Demigod or Shardbearer bosses such as Godric, you'll get a Great Rune which you can use to get some pretty strong buffs. If you check your inventory, you'll see that the Great Rune isn't actually usable. You can see which Great Runes you currently have by going to Inventory, then scrolling over to Key Items, and if you scroll down, you'll see the Grayed Out Great Runes, which aren't active yet. You need to bring these to a Divine Tower to activate them. You'll see attempting to use it doesn't do anything. That's also not how you activate them, but we'll get to that. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see which button switches display mid. This lets you read the item description, and for the description of the Great Runes, it tells you which Divine Tower to bring it to. So in this case, Godric's Great Rune goes to the Divine Tower of Limgrave, to the east of Stormvale Castle. So obviously, that's this enormous thing over here. You can see Divine Towers all throughout the world. They're, these enormous stone towers that are impossible to miss. There's 6 of them. Almost every Great Rune is activated at a different Divine Tower, so you need to read the description to see which one you need to bring it to. In our case, we're going to be going to the Divine Tower of Limgrave to activate Godric's Great Rune, so you can access this from inside of Stormvale, as you saw by the map there. You can see the bridge clearly leads to the inside of Stormvale, so I put a marker on it to help us find where the actual entrance to it is, and you'll see here it's to the east, so I'm running past all the enemies and stuff here. Don't mind me getting knocked down by giant ballista shots and shit, but you can see there's this path that leads out to a gigantic bridge, and that takes us over to the Divine Tower. Different Divine Towers are accessed in different ways, so, for like one of them you need to go through a cave to be able to get to it, for example. You're gonna have to explore and find them, or you can look it up if you want. But anyway, once you get to the Divine Tower, you just go inside. There's an elevator that takes you to the top of the tower. Once you get to the top, there's usually a Site of Grace. I didn't bother to grab it here, but you can see there's usually a Site of Grace, and you just go up, you will see the Great Rune in between some fingers, and when you activate it, you will restore the power of the Great Rune that you currently possess. So in our case, that activates Godric's Great Rune. You can see it's now colorful and, looks powerful. You can see the power. So if we go to Key Items, now it's at the top of the Key Item inventory, and we can activate it at any Site of Grace by selecting it in the Great Runes menu. So sit at a Site of Grace, scroll down to Great Runes. You have a single slot that you can put Great Runes into, and you can only have one at a time, so, choose the one that you want. You see it said if I change the equipped Great Rune, it'll remove the effect of an already equipped one, so we'll talk about that in a second. So you can select it, and you can also use the remove button that you see at the bottom to remove any Great Rune. So right now, we're going to activate the effect of the Great Rune using a Rune Arc. So you see I have like 50 Vigor, those are my stats. Godric's Great Rune increases all of your stats by 5 points. So when you use a Rune Arc, it activates the Great Rune. If you look at the top left, you'll see now it's switched the icon and it's like glowing, like it's activated. So if we go and look at my stats again, you'll see they've all been increased by 5 points because that's what Godric's Great Rune does. Other ones will increase your max health or stamina or whatever. If you die, then you will lose that Rune Arc. So you keep the Great Rune, you never lose the Great Rune itself, but the activated Rune Arc has been disabled, and you now need to use another Rune Arc to get the effect of the Great Rune back. Until you die or unequip the Great Rune, the Rune Arc will last forever. And like I mentioned a minute ago, if you go to Great Runes, I can unequip this Great Rune if I want, and you see it says if you change the equipped Great Rune, the current Great Rune's effects will be removed. Is that okay? That'll make you lose the Rune Arc that you had active, and this also happens if you switch to a different Great Rune, so keep that in mind if you want to use different Great Runes. Rune Arcs are required to activate the effect of a Great Rune. Just having the Great Rune equipped won't actually do anything for you. You need to equip it and then use a Rune Arc to activate its effect. The easiest way to get Rune Arcs is through co-op if you have access to online play. Throughout the world, you'll find these white statues called Effigies of the Martyr or summoning pools. You can interact with them to activate them, and then when you go into your multiplayer menu and use the small golden effigy, you can select both near and far to send your summon sign out to every summoning pool that you've activated. And then, after a period of time, hopefully someone will summon you for co-op, and if you help them kill a boss, then you'll get a Rune Arc for that. Co-op is also a great way to get easy runes, because if you die as a cooperator, you don't drop any runes that you have. So you can safely go and help people and die as much as you want, and you won't lose the runes that you picked up while helping them. And you also get runes for killing bosses, of course, but the main thing we're here for is the Rune Arc that you get when you help them kill a boss. So that's any enemy with a boss health bar, such as this Red Wolf of Radagon, will give you a Rune Arc when you kill it. There's two other ways to get Rune Arcs too. So some merchants will sell them, like this one in Liurnia, for example. They go to purchase, he sells 3 Rune Arcs. The problem with this is that their stock is limited, so this guy doesn't ever restock. He only has 3 Rune Arcs. And there's also some that you can pick up throughout the world. So, again, not far from that guy here in Liurnia, there's a Rune Arc that I picked up off of a corpse. These are not renewable, so make sure you use them carefully and wisely. Worst case scenario, if you don't have access to online play, then you can come over here to Earthbore Cave and farm Rune Arcs from the rats here. So, there's other places where you can kill giant rats to get Rune Arcs, but to my knowledge, this is the fastest place to get them. So, the strategy here is you go to the Grace, you'll find this hole next to a chest here, so drop down the hole and you'll be in a room with a bunch of giant rats. Kill the rats, obviously be careful not to die, and they all have a 1% chance to drop a Rune Arc, which is very low, and it sucks, but, you know, if push comes to shove, you can do this to get as many Rune Arcs as you want. So, kill the rats down here, there's like 5 or 6 of them, and then you can just run back up the cave, back to the Site of Grace, sit at it, and then that will make the rats respawn, and you can repeat the loop. If you use items like Silver Pickled Foul Feet and the Silver Scarab Talisman, that'll increase your item discovery and the chance to get a Rune Arc. As you can see, I miraculously got one on my second run here, but, you know, make sure you grab some snacks and make sure you have some good YouTube videos to watch or something, because it's usually going to take you a while to get a bunch of them. But, like I said, you know, worst case scenario, that's how you can farm Rune Arcs. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you found it helpful. Please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me. My name is Diabedor, and I will catch you later.